Everyone at the crowded bus terminal walked past the two silent twins as if they didn't exist. People stared, whispered, laughed, but no one stopped. No one even tried to understand why they sat there trembling, clutching a torn cardboard sign. Except one man, a tired single dad running late for work, who froze the moment he saw their hands move in desperate, shaky signs. And then, he signed back. Hello. What happened next would change 3 lives forever. The morning was chaos for Daniel Hayes, a single dad who worked 2 jobs to keep life steady for his 7-year-old daughter, Mia. They had just finished breakfast on the run, and Daniel was stressing about arriving late to his shift again. His manager had warned him the night before that one more delay could cost him his job. But as they rushed through the bus terminal, Mia tugged at his hand, her eyes wide. "Daddy, why are those kids sitting alone?" Daniel followed her gaze and felt his breath catch. 2 children, identical twins, around 9 or 10, sat side by side on a cold metal bench. Their clothes were worn and mismatched. Their backpacks were empty. Their cheeks were streaked with dried tears. And in their hands was a cardboard sign, written in shaky letters. "We are deaf. We are lost." Commuters passed by them like rushing water, glancing, frowning, avoiding. Daniel felt something twist inside him, but he knew that feeling, being invisible in a world too busy to care. He stepped closer, the twins' eyes darted nervously. Their hands moved quickly in sign language, frantic, confused. Most people would have walked away. But Daniel didn't. Because years ago, when his wife was alive, they had worked together at a community center that taught basic signing to volunteers. After her sudden passing, he kept practicing. It reminded him of her. It made him feel she was still whispering through his fingers, and now, those forgotten signs lifted themselves from his memory. He knelt down so the twins wouldn't feel intimidated, then he slowly raised his hands and signed, "Hello. Are you okay?" The reaction was instant. The twins gasped, their frightened expressions melting into hope so raw it pierced him straight through. They signed back in relief. "You can understand us." Daniel nodded. Mia watched in awe. She had never seen her father sign before. The twins introduced themselves, Liam and Leo. They had come with their aunt to the city, but in the crowd, they were separated. Without hearing, without speech, without a phone, they were completely alone. Daniel glanced at the clock. His bus was arriving. He would be late again. He might lose his job. He took a long breath, then he made a decision that felt heavier than anything he'd done in years. He signed, "Don't worry. I will help you." And he missed his bus. For the first time that morning, he didn't care. Daniel brought the twins and Mia to a small corner cafe near the terminal. He bought them warm food and listened as they signed their story. They had been ignored by everyone. Some people had even told them to move aside. But the moment Daniel spoke through his hands, they felt safe for the first time since losing their aunt in the crowd. While the boys ate, Daniel made calls, asked security, checked announcements, but no one had reported missing children. Hours passed. Daniel was now officially late. Too late, and yet, he stayed. At that moment, it wasn't about the consequences. It was about 2 frightened boys who needed someone to see them. For the first time in a long time, Mia saw her father the way her mother always described him. A man who would never walk past someone in need. A man who chose kindness even when life gave him 1,000 reasons not to. The chapter closes with a message on the cafe door, written by a stranger who had overheard the story. "Bless the man who stopped when no one else did." By noon, Daniel's phone buzzed with a message from his boss. "We need to talk." Immediately. He knew what it meant. He sighed but kept smiling for the twins. Just then, something unexpected happened. The cafe manager approached. She had been observing quietly from the counter. "I called the city's emergency line," she said gently. "A woman reported losing 2 deaf boys near this area. She's on her way right now." Daniel felt relief wash over him so strong his knees almost buckled. Minutes later, the cafe door swung open. A woman rushed in, tears already streaming. "Liam. Leo." The boys leapt from their seats and ran into her arms. She hugged them tightly, signing rapidly in panic and relief. She explained that she was their aunt, Marissa, and that the boy's mother had passed away years ago. She was their guardian, their only family left. Through tears, she thanked Daniel again and again. "You were the only one who cared enough to stop." Something about her voice, tired, grateful, trembling, hit him deeply. Daniel signed to the boys one last time. "You are safe now. Be brave." But the moment should have ended there, except it didn't. Because as Marissa was about to leave, a sudden shout echoed from the doorway at Daniel. His boss marched in, looking furious. "I've been calling you all morning. You missed your shift. Do you realize how?" She froze. She saw the twins, still clinging to Daniel's hands, saw their aunt wiping tears, saw Mia watching with pride, and then the cafe manager stepped forward. "Ma'am," she said quietly, "this man saved 2 lost deaf children today. If he hadn't stopped, who knows what would have happened." The boss's face softened. The twins, realizing what was happening, tugged Daniel's sleeve and signed to the boss, "He is our hero." The room went silent. Daniel looked away, embarrassed, but the boss let out a long breath and shook her head. "Take the day off. With pay," she said softly. "We need more people like you in this world." Before Daniel could respond, Marissa stepped closer. "You're a single father, right?" she asked. "You understand responsibility. You understand kindness. I run a local community program for special needs children, and we could use someone exactly like you." Daniel blinked, unsure he'd heard correctly. "A job," he whispered, "a stable one. Better pay. Flexible hours for your daughter." She smiled. "You changed our day. Let me change your life." Mia grabbed his hand, smiling wider than he'd seen in years, and for the first time since his wife passed away, Daniel felt like the world was giving something back, not because he asked, but because he cared. As the twins waved goodbye in sign language, Daniel signed back the word that started it all, "Hello." The story closes with the narrator's voice reminding viewers, kindness is a language everyone understands, and sometimes, it only takes one person willing to stop.